Here's why you should care about Hamza's rise to success on social media. Now in this video I'm not going to bore you with a 10-minute long essay on Hamza's childhood or even why he decided to start a YouTube channel, because that sort of information, it's not going to change your life directly. However, if you understand, and most importantly if you apply the takeaways that Hamza himself used to gain over 2.2 million followers on YouTube at the time I'm recording this video, believe me when I say that your life will never be the same. Everybody wants to be successful, right? At least if you're still watching this video, then I'm assuming that you want to be a success and you want to build a thriving online business. But do you know what's even better than success? Speed. The only reason why you should care about the tactics that Hamza implemented to break the internet and gain massive popularity is because if you apply those same tactics yourself, you'll be able to achieve the same level of success in a fraction of the time. Why do you think we constantly see 15-year-old kids making more money than doctors and lawyers, and we see those kids on many podcasts? How come that wasn't even a thing 10 years ago? The only reason why that's possible is because nowadays you can learn from the very best, the most successful people in their respective fields, literally for free online, simply by watching their videos or listening to podcasts or interviews. But you know what? You're lucky today because I've done all of the work for you. So sit back, grab a piece of paper and a pen, and pay close attention to what I'm saying. Otherwise, you can click off this video right now, because what follows is only for highly driven and highly ambitious individuals who are actually willing to put in the hard work to make their dreams come true. Everybody can talk about being a success, wanting to become a success. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, to be jacked, to find the love of their life, or to get laid. But how many people actually achieve this kind of outcome? Very few. And the only reason why is because very few are actually willing to sit down and to listen and to do the boring work. But trust me, if you can do that, you'll achieve anything you want literally in a fraction of the time. So the choice is yours. We can't talk about Hamza's rise to success without mentioning his insanely powerful storytelling. So what's storytelling to begin with? Storytelling is the art of telling stories in a way that captivates the audience and evokes powerful emotions inside of people. When you're speaking heart to heart with your audience, they feel a connection with you. Just look at the way that I'm speaking to you right now. If I didn't even sound interested in what I'm saying, if I didn't even believe in what I'm saying, this video would be insanely boring. And Hamza does the same. He doesn't even speak to an audience. He speaks to you directly, the viewer. It's like you're two friends sitting in front of each other and having a nice conversation, and he's actually helping you, he's giving you some friendly advice. And more than that, in every single one of his videos, if you pay attention, he's going to share a part of his story with you, and what he's going to share with you, it's always going to be related with the topic of the video. If he's explaining how to get girls, he's going to actually share a story of how he went from not getting girls to getting girls. And by sharing that kind of transformation that he went through, it's going to make him even more legitimate, because you'll want to know, okay, he did this, he went from this to this, I want to know how he did it, because I want that same transformation for myself. Now, why should you use storytelling in your videos or in your content or in your business? It's going to allow people to trust you, to relate to you. You need to understand that in the new economy, people do not buy from brands. They buy from other people they like. Like back then, everybody was buying the same brands. If you wanted some workout clothes, you'd buy some Nike, some Adidas, but you didn't know the founders of the company personally. They were not making YouTube videos. If you wanted some chocolates, you'd buy some Snickers, some Hershey's, but now people are buying Feastables. And if you're not aware, it's the brand from Mr. Beast. And because this chocolate is made by Mr. Beast, people are buying it, and they are buying it more. They're selling out literally faster than Hershey's. Influencers are the new businesses. Russell Brunson, the guy who built ClickFunnels, a multi-billion-dollar business, he linked his face to his brand, and that is what is insanely powerful. If you look at Kylie Jenner, she became a billionaire at 21 years old. And it's not because she coded an app or because she created something revolutionary. It's literally because she's an influencer, because she shares her life with people, because people trust her, relate to her, and then go on and buy her products. Now, the biggest form of storytelling that Hamza is using is probably the Jeffrey versus Adonis. Jeffrey is representing a version of yourself which is not very evolved, while Adonis is the ultimate man, the ultimate version of yourself, who you aspire to be. It's a classic marketing tactic, the before versus after. That's how many companies go about selling products. It's like, oh look, before working with us, this person's situation was horrible, they were having so many problems, and look, after working with us, their life is amazing, all of their problems are solved, so come work with us. This leads me to point number 2, authenticity and strong personal branding. We've quickly touched on what is a personal brand. Most brands are what we would call faceless. Think about Nike, Adidas, Coca-Cola. For most people, they've never seen the face of the founder or of the CEO of those companies, and quite frankly, they don't care. But when people buy Feastables, to give you an example, they know Mr. Beast, so they are a lot more inclined to buy his products because they're made from Mr. Beast. Beast. But when you just look at what it is, it's just chocolate. You could buy it at the supermarket, you could probably find some less expensive bar of chocolate, but no, people are going to buy it because it's chocolate made by Mr. Beast. You see, that's the difference. It's kind of like, I'm sure you've experienced in school, the popular or the attractive kid, he or she says something very funny and oh, everybody is laughing, or everybody thinks that what they said is very smart. But then it's the not so popular kid or the not so attractive kid who says the same thing and nobody cares. Being authentic, being real, being raw, and having a strong personal brand, it's exactly what has allowed Hamza to build such a cult-like following of 2.2 million people, and it's also what has allowed him to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis. And like I said, just look at Kylie Jenner, she became a billionaire at 21 years old. Do you realize that we are living in a crazy time where someone can become a billionaire literally just because they're pretty? Just think about how many girls are making OnlyFans and making millions of dollars every month, literally every month, while you are still struggling to pay your bills. It's no longer about skill, about talent, about your ability to deliver good work. It's about how famous are you, how much attention can you get. That's the way that the game is played in 2023 and in the following decade, trust me. Now the thing that really made the difference and that allowed Hamza to blow up, it was speaking to his younger self. When giving advice on how to build a successful YouTube channel and using the power of storytelling to build a strong personal brand, Hamza often said that when he's making a video, he's making it from the perspective of his younger self, which he calls younger Hamza. And that's probably one of the biggest lessons you can learn from Hamza, because if you want to be successful, you need to understand, first and foremost, that you need to pick a niche in your business. And if you can understand your niche better than anyone else, you'll make the most amount of money and you'll get the most recognition. I've spoken with many wannabe entrepreneurs or even actual entrepreneurs who were established in the game, and let me tell you one thing, most of the time the people who were not making any money whatsoever with their business, they always had those things in common. They were the ones who did not stick to one niche. They were trying to target realtors, plumbers, solar companies, but what they didn't get is that you cannot speak to real estate agents the same way that you're going to speak to solar company owners. They all have a different vocabulary, they all have different objectives, and even if both those people want to make more money, to get more leads, to be more successful, the way that they're going to go about it, it's going to be completely different. So if you're trying to become really good at something to be paid a lot, if you try to be good at 3 things at the same time, 5 things at the same time, you are spreading yourself thin, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, let me ask you one thing, do you really believe that Michael Jordan would have become such a success, the legend of basketball, if he was trying to compete in 10 different sports at the same time? The answer is obviously not. And that is why you need to unlock the power of focus. Truth is, most people by now, they will have clicked off this video because they can't focus on anything unless there's 10,000 different things going on at the same time. But those people, guess what? They'll never be successful. And I'll just say this, it's even better for you and I, because only the people who can actually focus, sit down and do the work will eventually make it big. You're not going to become successful without the ability to focus on your work for long periods of time. Unwavering focus will be your best asset. So to make millions and even billions of dollars, to impact millions of people from all over the world, you need to really understand that one niche, that one audience. But how do you actually do that? It's actually quite simple. You need to be your own ideal customer, your own niche. Because think about this, if you were an overweight kid, you lost so much weight and now you're very fit, you're very athletic, you're muscular, you built a great physique. You know all of the struggles that come with being overweight. You know how people made fun of you, how you felt, how you didn't like yourself, how you had low energy levels, maybe no libido. You know what it's like. So if you make videos to help overweight people to lose weight, you'll resonate with that audience naturally because you are your own ideal customer. You went through that same information. So while you don't need to follow your passion, if you are within your own niche, it's even better. And there's a big difference between following your passion blindly and being in your own niche yourself. When you follow your passion, you're going to do things based on what you want and based on what you like, not based on what the market is actually wanting, and you're often going to make your decisions based on feelings as opposed to on the data that you get, the feedback that you receive from the market. But when you yourself faced the same problems that you're trying to help other people to overcome, you have the keys to incredible wealth in your hands. Now, you don't need to be an expert, you just need to teach the chapter before you. I think that the expert myth has been debunked many times, but when Hamza started his channel, he was not an expert. It's not like he was an expert in marital relationships or on fitness. It's not like he coached Michael Jordan. He wasn't a multi-millionaire, so technically speaking, he was not an expert. But the way that he gained such popularity, the reason why people stuck around to watch his videos and kept coming back for more, it's because each time they were learning something from him. Because all you need is to be one step ahead of your ideal viewer or of your ideal customer. You don't need to know everything. To give an example, most people when they want to learn an instrument, like let's say the piano or the guitar, they don't care about becoming pros. They don't care about reading sheet music perfectly. Most people, when they want to play an instrument, it's because they want to play a couple songs that they love, or they want to impress their family and friends. But most people, they would gladly just learn even one song or a couple songs. So if you can already play a couple songs, you can teach other people how to do that. Show, don't tell. At some point, Hamza hired video editors to make his video crazy engaging. And honestly, in my opinion, great video editors alongside with his insane storytelling was the key to his high retention on his videos. With the stories of Adonis and Jeffrey at the beginning of each video, it made the videos very entertaining. It was easy to keep watching because most likely you would relate to either Jeffrey or Adonis in some situations. And if you related to being the Jeffrey, then you wanted to be the Adonis. So you wanted to figure out, how can I bridge the gap between being a Jeffrey and being an Adonis? So in a way, you had to keep watching the video because you want to figure out exactly what you need to do to stop being a Jeffrey. Now when it comes to crazy editing, I'm sure you've seen many videos on YouTube. They're literally edited like short movies, and even on my channel some videos are highly edited. But let me tell you one thing, you don't necessarily need it to become successful on YouTube. In fact, my most viewed videos are not the most edited, and if anything, sometimes we're going to edit a video for a week and it's barely going to get any views, even though the topic is even something popular. And just look at all of the podcast channels. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars every month, getting millions of views every month. Yet, if you look at their videos, they're 2 hours long a lot of the time, and they're not very well edited. Or sometimes if you look at podcast channels, they're going to publish 7 to 12 minute videos, but they're clips of the main podcast. And those people, they don't struggle to grow their YouTube channels. They're still able to get viewers, and those viewers watch the videos. Now, to be completely honest, they're leveraging other people's names, other people's audiences to grow their own audience. And what I mean by that is that, to give you an example, if I decided to start a podcast channel, if I'm just making podcasts about myself, first, it wouldn't really be a podcast channel, but most importantly, I'm not famous. I don't have millions of subscribers. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers on this channel at the time I'm recording this video. So it's not like people would go and listen to my videos because they don't know who I am. And that is why business, when you're first starting out, it's so difficult because nobody knows who you are. So to get some momentum, you're going to have to work, to grind. But if I were to invite Hamza on my podcast, if I were to invite Mike Thurston, or if I were to invite some kind of popular influencer, and they agreed we made a 2-hour podcast, then I'm pretty sure that it would get lots of views because I'd be using their name, their audience, people who know that person and who want to watch more content made by that person or of that person. They are going to type their name in the search bar and they will stumble upon my podcast and watch it, even though they don't know who I am. Valuable advice. Hamza's content is made to help young men to improve themselves, to become the best possible version of themselves that they can be. He helps them to get in shape, to get laid if that's what they want, or to build better, more positive relationships, to get in shape and to make money. So his advice is directly helping you to improve your life. He's giving you what you want. He's focusing on what you want. If you'll notice, he's not making vlog videos or a day in my life videos. He's making videos to give you advice to help you. Hamza also has a powerful voice. And by saying a powerful voice, I'm not talking about the sound of his voice, but Hamza has a powerful conviction in the things that he shares with you, in his values, in what he teaches you. He not only talks, but he also practices what he preaches. Imagine trying to sell a product that you clearly just don't believe in. Do you really think that the potential customer is not going to feel it? Of course they will. The energy is going to be off. You'll speak in a way that is just boring, you don't believe in what you say, you don't sound interested. Of course the prospect is going to notice it. No one will follow a leader who does not believe in the cause they are fighting for. When the troops are down and they're marching towards battle, it's the leader's responsibility to motivate the troops, to remind them why they're doing this in the first place. Now, something else that you need to understand is that volume negate slack. Honestly, it's just not easy. On social media, I know that everything looks easy. You see Hamza now with millions of subscribers, making 6 figures a month in revenue. And on the outside, it all looks so easy. After all, he's just sitting down and recording some videos, right? Hamza said himself that he did a 6-month monk mode protocol and he scaled his business from 15k to 20k a month up to $100,000 a month. And if you look at his channel, he's almost uploaded 1,000 videos. People post 2 videos and they get pissed off because they got 10 views. That's how the game is. At first, like I said, nobody knows you, so people just don't care. As harsh as it may sound, people just don't care. But that game, however, it is well worth it, because if you keep posting videos, you keep making content, you build a strong personal brand, at some point you'll reach millions of people, you'll impact the lives of millions of people in a positive way, and you'll be heavily rewarded for it, not only by the gratitude of people, but also because you'd make millions of dollars. Something else which Hamza is doing is making videos on broad topics. He's targeting most people when you look at it. The niche is literally most young men, whereas Hamza said it himself, the niche is Hamza's interests, but his typical viewer is a young man who wants more love, more money, and who wants to get in shape. I understand that dating and fitness videos, they're always going to get a lot more views than videos on how to set up an email campaign in GetResponse. Even if you're making a video on how to make money online, it's never going to get as many views as a video on how to get ripped. Just look at MrBeast. Who is his audience? Most young people. Literally, that's it. He's making videos that anybody could watch. But something else which Hamza also did is leveraging other people's audiences. We talked about that previously. But what Hamza did is that he got on podcasts from other people. And by doing this, he was exposing himself to a brand new audience. And that audience, if they're interested in what he says, they can go and check out his channel. And that's how he could easily gain 50,000 subscribers in literally a couple weeks. That is why collaborations are insanely powerful. And honestly, why do you think I'm making this video on Hamza right now? I'm using somebody's name, somebody's audiences to get attention for myself and for my business. Now, if you are an ambitious individual, you want to obtain the best things in life, you understand that you need to start your own business to be able to do that. But like many people, maybe you just don't know what to do, you don't know where to start. If that's the case, I have recorded a free video in which I'm going to analyze every popular online business model. Together we take a look at the pros, at the cons, and I'm also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can start implementing literally today to get your first customers. The link is in the description below. And with that said, as always, I am waiting for you on the other side.